Alright, good morning everybody. Thursday, December 18th. We're in the truck. We already pre-tripped it. Got our paperwork started. We got a few more minutes before I can roll out of here. Like I said, we start at 9 a.m. so I gotta wait just a couple more minutes before I can roll. If you roll too early, there's a chance you get in somebody's way, and nobody likes that. So if you leave at your appointed start time and you end up in somebody's way, then nobody can say anything. So we're gonna wait a few more minutes before we go. Now, I had talked about the warm-up. Yesterday was 45, so we did get some snow melt, and it was kind of mild, but boy, overnight it dropped again. It's 16 degrees here in the yard. At least it was when I came in the Jeep. So the overnight's still cold. We'll talk more about the weather later on, but we're going to get going here in a few minutes, and we'll tell you what the itinerary is as we're rolling down the road. It's going to be quite a day. Alright, so making our way out here to 309. Today we are not going to make a left or a right on 309, but we are going to shoot straight across because we got to go out to the well in the woods and grab a load that's going to go to Reading. That's our first trip in the itinerary. Like I said, we have got a day today. Got lots of seat time, lots of mileage, but boy, it's going to be a long one if I can even get everything done that I need to get done in time to not mess up our night shift driver. After I do Reading, then I have to go out to Elizabethtown for a tank wash drop and swap. And then from there, I have to come back up here to the well in the woods and grab a load that's going to go down to Lansdale again, where we have to back in off the street, do that drop and hook, and then come back up here to the Red Barn and finish up with one that goes over to Allentown by the airport. And I ran it through Google Maps with all the stops, and it is 7 hours of driving time if there's no traffic delays anywhere, and generally a half hour at each location to back in and get in position, hook up and load and everything else. Now we're looking at an 11-hour day if everything goes perfectly. If I have to wait on anybody anywhere, or if there's a traffic delay, we're going to end up getting back after her start time, which of course you know I don't like doing. So we'll have to see how today plays out. We're going to try to get them all, but it may or may not happen. All depends. Especially going down through Lancaster. Leaving from Reading to go out to Elizabethtown, 222 to 30 to 283 is the best route to take to get out there. And I don't know what the construction down there at the 222-30 interchange, if traffic is going to be jammed up there or not. We'll see. Like I said, this is a skin of our teeth run to get everything done. But anyway, we're heading on out there. We'll turn this camera back on when we turn in and see if anybody's there loading when we get there. If we have a clean shot at getting loaded right away. All right, I don't know if you can see that far ahead yet. We just turned in a little well road here, and we got 2 trucks there, and I don't know. We only can load one at a time because there's only one hose. I don't know how far along the guy that's loading right now is, but I gotta wait on whatever he's got left, and I gotta wait on a half an hour on the other guy. So this is gonna make for an interesting afternoon. Right off the bat, we've got this, so that 4th load is now more in jeopardy than if I could have got on this pad and started loading right away. So we will see what happens. I'm going to get out of the truck and see what exactly is going on here, and we'll talk to you later when we're loading. All right, so change of plans. I messaged dispatch letting them know I was sitting behind 2 trucks there, and he told me to come over here to the Red Barn and load my first one over to Allentown. So we hightailed it over here. Nobody was here, so I was able to hook up and start unloading right away. So that's a good thing, but it did set us back. So he already told me not to worry about that fourth load. The fourth load was supposed to go to Allentown. Well, now we're going to take it there now. Then we're going to go out and do the tank wash, and then we're going to go do Lansdale, and that's going to be our final load of the day, because he knows that this is setting me back. Either way, set me back. Whether I sat and waited on those 2 trucks down there, or I come back over here and load here, it still set me back on what was a tight day to begin with. So the fourth load will be dropped. We'll be just doing Allentown and then over to tank wash and then down to Lansdale. And it looks like they got both loading stations set up. I'm loading off our original one now, but it looks like they've got the second loading station up and ready to go. Because there the hose sits, they've got to, I guess, finish up and get another trough that it can lay in, but this is loading station number 2. I'm over there loading off of loaded station number 1. So yeah, as you've seen in the past, we loaded off of this meter here, which was the only meter and loading station. So now they have loadout 2, which is the one I'm loading on. So actually I mislabeled it. The new one is number 1 and the original one is number 2. So we're loading now, we're up to 4,300 gallons, but over here is a new control unit to load up the new loading station. It looks like somebody was in here with an 8 and loaded one up. So so we can load 2 trucks here at one time now, the way it looks. I'll have to find out for sure before I actually hook up and load off this one, but it looks like it's going, so we'll see. All right, so 309 dropping off the Blue Mountain. I don't many times show you this, so we'll show it to you this time. We already did our climb and now we're coming down the other side. And I looked at Google Maps to see how the traffic was doing down there on 22. It is 10 o'clock, so we are out of rush hour. So everything was green going across the valley, so there's no reason to go up across the top and take 248 to Airport Road. We can just go down this way and take 22 over to Airport Road. It's faster. When traffic is good, it's faster. When traffic is bad or there's an accident down there, then of course 248 ends up being faster. So, but then we're gonna have a nice long ride once we get done over there by the airport, because then we'll just take 22 to 78 to 81 back to 283. Fastest way is to stay on the freeways as opposed to running down there through Reading and Lancaster, and you're kind of going south and then coming back north again. So that's the route we're going to take out there. So have some good seat time with that one, and then we'll come back and load up there at the Well in the Woods and take that one down to Lansdale. So that is the plan this morning now, and generally plans don't change here, but sometimes they do. So like I said, we were supposed to do 4 loads. We were supposed to do Reading, then tank wash, then Lansdale, and then Allentown, but we swapped it out because of sitting there and waiting. So it's faster to get over to the other well and do this, but still ate up time. All right, so we just rolled past 15th Street here on the Double Deuce, and as I said, traffic wasn't going to be too bad here on 22. It is 10 a.m., but we are slowing down now. I don't know what's going on here, but we are slowing down. I thought, according to Google Maps, it was green all the way across the valley, but this MacArthur Road, 7th Street, Fullerton Avenue interchange usually does get a little jammed up, and we are a week from Christmas, so that might be part of the reason why. I could have jumped out in that left lane and skated on by them, but it doesn't look like it's jammed up that bad, and it should be all right. And then what happens is, once you get past Fullerton Avenue, then I need to be in this lane for Airport Road. And then sometimes it's hard to get back over because you see that the traffic is still heavy. It's moving, but it's still heavy. And sometimes people don't want to let you back over. You're out in that left lane, and they don't want you to get in front of them, so they come on, Mr. Van, come on. I backed out of it a little bit and let you go. Yeah, whatever I was saying there. Sometimes they just don't want to be behind the truck, so they don't want to let you back over. So with traffic moving as well as it is, we just stay here. But it's already 10:31 and we're not at first customer yet. This one takes a solid half hour to unload. This one's one of the slower pumps. Most of the others take 20 minutes. From the time you push the start button until it empties out is 20 minutes. But this one takes a full half hour. So we're going to be here probably till about 11:15. Figure until we get back to the place. You gotta go to Airport Road and then backtrack through that industrial park to get to it. So, because if I leave the camera on long enough, I could point out to you what building it is. We just can't get to it from here. Fulton Avenue is not an option because you get into some narrow city streets in there and tough turns and maybe even some truck restricted routes. But that white-ish building on the left up there just ahead of us is where we actually need to go. But we got to go all the way to Airport Road, which is 1.5 miles from here to get back to it. Alright, so we're here unloading. Got the paperwork signed, guy came out, got his sample, and we're unloading. And yeah, right on the other side of this hill is 22. Like I showed you about the white building, and we had to drive past it, go all the way to Airport Road, and then backtrack into the industrial park to get here. But that's the only way to get here. So that's that. But we're unloading here, and it seems like the temperature moderate a little bit. As you can see, I don't need winter coat. Still a little bit of a chill in the air, but it's about 40 degrees, so it's up from the 16 when I got in the Jeep this morning. So hopefully we get some more melting, and then we get a big old rainstorm starting late this afternoon or into the night, and then going into tomorrow morning. Possibility of a gusty storm front when the cold front comes through, and then the temperatures are going to plummet from an early morning high of about 50 down into the low 30s with 40 and 50 mile an hour wind gusts behind it. So tomorrow is going to be a fun day. This warm-up rather brief. If you can even call it a warm-up, but it was better than what we had been experiencing, so we'll take it. But yeah, we're going to unload this one and then head out there to the tank wash and do that drop and hook, and we'll talk to you en route out there. Alright, so taking a peek at Hamburg in a different light. Usually we're on 61 up here, crossing over 78. Today for a change, we're on 78 going under 61. It's kind of rare that this happens, but there's so many trucks out running water today, and a little bit of log jam this morning that changed our plans, put us into this situation where we're coming straight from Allentown and going out for that tank wash. So it puts us on a long cruise on 78. All this is new through here. This bridge across the Schuylkill River, this is new and wide, and used to be narrow, no breakdown lane. Now you got 2 through lanes, you got an exit lane there, and the breakdown lane. So all rebuilt, all finished. Took them a few years to do it, but it's all finished now. But they're still working up on 61. Not this overpass. This overpass is finished, but down the line there, crossing a couple of city streets and railroad tracks and a creek, those bridges are still being rebuilt. Taking a long time to do them for some reason, but anyway, keeping on. It's already 10 to noon, so like I said, pretty long day today. As scheduled, so we'll see how it plays out when we get done with that Lansdale run. Alright, so we are on Route 230. This will take us down to Industrial, where we'll hook a right, and that's in the outskirts of Elizabethtown. That's where the tank wash is. Seems to be a little bit more snow here, at least in the shady areas, than there was up there on the interstate. sun-drenched areas look like it melted off. Shady areas look like it still has some. But there's a joke with this Route 230, which is why I put the camera on. Yesterday, my wife had a doctor's appointment, family doctor, and so she got out of work early, and I asked her, I said, well, what time is your appointment? And she goes, 2:30. And I was like, well, if you're 2:30, then you should go to see the dentist, not the family doctor. Dead silence. Lame dad joke. She had nothing to say about that. And I started laughing, and she just had nothing to say about it, but I thought it was funny. I don't know. Maybe some of you will think it's funny. But there's a little story I wanted to tell here before we get to the tank wash. Alright, so we're here and we're going to check this main lot and see if we can find a spot to drop this trailer, and we'll see if our T001 is in here as well. Sometimes they're over here, sometimes they're on the other side. There's room to drop over here. On there on the end next to Oakley, pretty much. You just like pull straight across and drop in there, or you can come up here and drop. But there's a couple spots in here that we can drop in. I think we'll just drop down here next to this Oakley. So we can pretty much push it straight back. Our trailer may be on the other side of the road. Sometimes that's where they are. Doesn't matter where you drop them, they don't care. I asked one time, I said, do you want them dropped in a specific spot? He says, nope, wherever you find a hole. So, this is where we'll put it. That looks good right there. Give it a little push back so we can unhook. Ooh, not that much pushing up on the airbags. Just gotta take tension off that fifth wheel. That's good right there. Alright, so I decided to take a walk and use the restroom and walk this lot and see where the trailer was. I stayed hooked over there for now, and well, here it is. It's the one we need. Alright, paperwork is there. Ooh, it's a little tight through here. Ah. A little tighter than I expected. A little noisy here. I guess they're drying out a pneumatic tanker, but in reality, I could have dropped that one over there and bobtailed and found this one, hooked up to it, and then came over here to use the restroom. But one way or the other, it might have been the same amount of time. I don't know, maybe a couple minutes longer. But anyway, once we're done, we'll hook up and then organize the paperwork and be on our way. All right, so paperwork is usually on the glad hands of the trailer. So now we got to organize. One copy goes to our office, one copy stays with the truck, and one copy goes to the plant in Vogelsville. So there's 3 of each. So 1, come on, 1 and 1. 1 and 1, and 1 and 1, and we'll, where did I put that cellophane thing? Should have kept it. There it is. Keep it dry when it's in the registration box. So this is the one that will go in the registration box, and I like to fold them so that the wash date is showing for the next driver, so he doesn't have to maybe open up the box and pull the paperwork out. So let's see if we can fold it the right way and get it in there. So it was washed yesterday. So this one's good for a month. So this one is going to go out in the trailer in the registration box, or some of them have two boxes, one for registration and one for this. So let's hold on to that. This one we'll just say is going to go to our office, folded a little different way so it goes in our envelope at the end of the night. And see, this is what kind of takes time, and like I was dispatched into a long day. They forget that there's some stuff you got to do besides just driving. It takes time. Set this underneath here. This one I will put up in the sun visor, or I don't know, maybe I should. It all depends on who's. This one's going to get dropped down in Lansdale, so I don't know what to do with this one. It should go to the Fogelsville plant, but what's this one? This is an old one from October. That's outdated. I will put this one up here for now. I don't know who's going to end up taking this trailer to Fogelsville. Like I said, it's going to go to Lansdale first. Don't need that anymore either. So that's taken care of. Now, where did I put that other one? Oh, right here. So, all right, I will be back. This needs to go out into the trailer in one of the two boxes, if there is two boxes. And we'll talk to you in a minute. All right, so back to 283 we go. 283, 83, 81, 78, 61, 895 are the routes we are going to use. Boy, it is a beautiful day down here. 48 degrees is what it says on the truck. I didn't even need a jacket when I was out there doing the drop and hook, just kind of what I'm wearing. I ditched both jackets, my winter coat and the zipper hoodie, and it's just beautiful out today. But it's going to change tonight. Like I said, you're going to get some heavy rain. They say 1 to 2 inches of rain, and the cold front blows through with a chance for a windy thunderstorm, and then afterwards, then we get into some serious wind and some dropping temperatures. It might be down to freezing by sunset tomorrow night. So going to be interesting weather day tomorrow. I might bring the cameras back out again tomorrow and do another video for you guys. I always like to do one when I come out here and do a tank wash, but I might come out and bring them out tomorrow again to show you the changeable weather and the winds. And if we get the winds that they're talking about, it might bring some trees down because of the ground being, well, it was frozen, but it's going to probably thaw out a little bit, get saturated from the snow and the rain and branches, if nothing else, but maybe full-on trees come down. It happens every time we get those wind events. And they already got wind advisories up for tomorrow, so it's pretty much a sure thing. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I might bring those cameras out tomorrow and give you a third day of video work instead of just the two I usually do. So, but anyway, we're carrying on. It is 1:30 already, and I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take to get to the well to load. And then, of course, we got to go down to Lansdale, so it's going to be a little bit of a ride for both trips. Alright, so we're just cruising the rural farmland out here along 78. We got off 81. 81 pretty choked up with traffic. It kept moving, but there were no traffic jams, but it was pretty choked up with traffic. And we got on 78 here. Most of the traffic went northbound up 81, pretty much by ourselves at the moment. There is a pack of cars back there that is catching up to me a little bit, and this one here passing me, but just a nice relaxing cruise back to the well at this point. I don't know where, if the traffic will pick up. I know when I used to come out of Tower City and bring that last load to Fogelsville back when I was doing Sunberries, there were days where it was like this, and then there were days where it was just wall-to-wall traffic. There was never any rhyme or reason to how it would play out for whatever reason. But we are in a break right now that's really nice. Just some easy peasy cruising. Well, I saw the tail end of a tanker go over that little hill ahead of us there. So that means there is somebody ahead of me that is going in there to load. So we're going to have to wait on him. And it looked like it was at 8, so it's going to take him a full half hour to load his truck there. And I don't know if anybody else is in there. We'll find out when we turn the corner. But you see the difference between down there by Elizabethtown and up here. A lot of the snow melted. It's 48 degrees here just like it was down there, but just the fact that we had more snow means there is a lot more snow cover left over on the ground, whereas theirs melted away. Ours was just whittled down. All right, so I had just turned the corner and had to back up because there was one coming out the driveway. And as you can see, there are 2 of them in here right now. So I'm gonna have to wait a while to load. And this time I have to load here. I can't go to the other one because Lansdale delivery will only take water from this well location. Some of the plants will only take water from certain wells. Allentown will only take from the Red Barn. Lansdale will only take from here. It's funny how that works, but they only want water from certain places, so we gotta wait for these 2 to load, or at least one of them. I don't know if one's done or if they both have to start. Probably both of them. I'm probably gonna sit here for an hour and then 20 minutes for my load, so we're gonna be here a while. All right, well, those 2 guys are done and gone, and we're loading now. We're probably about 2,000 gallons. I just did all my computer paperwork, and everything's set up to go. Now all we got to do is wait for this thing to load up, and then we'll be out of here. We started loading right at 3:30, so we're going to get out of here close to 4 o'clock. Till we get down to Lansdale and back. It looks pretty much like we are not going to get that Reading one for our 4th load tonight. Because we won't get back in time for our night shift partner. Sitting here waiting on those 2 trucks kind of put the kibosh to it. I might have had a chance if I would have been able to get in here and load right away, but having to wait for those 2 just kind of delayed everything. So we'll see, but I don't think we're going to be able to get them. But anyway, loading up we are, and driving we will be. Alright, so we made it down here to 476. Traffic is as to be expected. It's moderate to heavy. Right now I got a brake behind me, a little bit of one, especially in the hammer lane. Well, you gotta take her easy going down through here because they're still working on widening these bridges for when they start the actual widening project for this stretch of the freeway. So you gotta widen the bridges before you can widen the freeway. So that's kind of what's going on here now. Speed limit's 55. Look at the way these people are passing me here. They're just cooking. Speed limit is just a suggestion. So I want to reiterate that, that going down here to Lansdale is actually a really cool run. I like it, other than the fact that you got to back in off that street. That's what makes it kind of crappy and why I don't like it. It's kind of a catch-22 type of deal. It's a cool run. You get some seat time, you get some freeway time. If the traffic isn't too heavy, you might be able to set the cruise and kind of relax for a little while as you're going down here. But and then when you get to the customer and you got to back in off that street, everything changes, especially if you got to do it at rush hour. And I'll have the cameras on. I'll show you. you know, I need more than just what's in front of that driveway, because I got to set up so I can back in there, and the people don't get that, and they pull right up almost to where the nose of my truck is. It's like, I need more room than that. So that's the only reason I don't like going down here, is because of backing in off that street, plus the time frame that I actually do it at. Otherwise, it would be a really cool run, and, you know, anybody I ever talk to there is actually pretty cool, so it's not the nature of the customer, it's just the setup to have to deliver the load. So, just want to make that clear, that I don't hate any particular customer, just some of what we have to go through to get to them. So, but anyway, I guess I ought to get over here. I'm not going to catch this Ryder truck, and we're going to be going up the hill anyway, so, but we'll talk to you when we get down there and show you the deal again. All right, here comes our moment of truth. Now, let's see. Somebody's gonna try and... Somebody was gonna try and sneak up. I need to cheat left here. Somebody's trying to sneak up here to make this left turn here at this light, but I need to cheat right, because a lot of times these people don't stop back there at this, or cheat left, because a lot of people don't stop at that stop line. And then I have to really swing it hard to get in there. Now, hopefully, this line clears, but you see how much traffic's coming out that street. It's rush hour, and it's a fairly busy street. So it is not easy to do what I need to do here. Now, let's see, is there an arrow here? I'll try and let that first car there go when it's their turn. That way I don't hold them up. There's only one car, so I'm going to let them go. But now here we go. Here comes a whole line of cars coming up, and I am going to need to get in here. And I'm going to have to wait for them to clear. And nothing I can do until these cars get out of my way here. And now I got a whole bunch of them that are turning behind me here. Oh, now everything's jammed up. Now these aren't going to clear because so many people wanted to come down this way. See, everybody beeping their horn because I need to get in here. This isn't gonna work. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! worst possible time to come down here. The worst possible time to come down here. And everybody blowing their horn because they don't understand what I got to do here. I guess we tied everything up pretty good, but that's because of the nature of the day. What are you gonna do? Now, where's the line I need to be on? You can't even see that now because it's nighttime. Oh. I gotta pull up just a little bit. Yeah, people are getting a little antsy and blowing the horn, but what are you gonna do? You gotta back in here, you know? Got a job to do. I should show this to the boss and say, hey man, you can't come down here at this time of day. I gotta push back a little bit here. All right, we're in. All right, so the traffic just keeps coming up this road. I don't know, I've never seen it quite this busy. It's a little bit excessive today. The traffic just keeps coming up this road for some reason, but the problem is that traffic light and the close proximity of the entrance to that traffic light. And then you see where, you know, there's so much traffic here that then they blocked the driveway up and I couldn't swing in to set up the back end. And it was all kind of problems, to the point where I physically had to get out of the truck and tell some people to go and some people to wait and try to explain to them by hand gesture without running the individual cars what I needed to do to get in here. And then you heard all the horns blowing because, of course, nobody wants to sit and wait. And because I had to wait so long for the opening to even set up, the traffic backed out on the 40-foot road at the traffic light, and then nobody could go and make the left turn up there or get across the intersection because there was a straight truck that was halfway into the turn, and it was just a total crap show until I was able to get set up and back in here. But geez, this is why I said I don't like coming down here at this time. Not that I don't like coming down here, but it'd be nice to come here at a better time than this because it's just a nightmare. But anyway, we are hooked up to the empty trailer and we're going to get rolling back shortly, I guess. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get out, if anybody's going to let me out of here when I want to go, but we'll see. So we'll talk to you on the way back up somewhere. All right, so we are out of there. We got our empty and we're rolling and heading back north. Well, we will be when we get on the turnpike. Right now we are actually heading south on this 40-foot road. I don't know. Now, if you look, there's hardly any traffic. A half an hour ago, this place was all choked up with traffic everywhere, and now it's light. It's light to moderate. I must have just hit it at the perfect bad time. Because even getting out of there, it wasn't long after I did that selfie segment that the traffic cleared out, and that long line in traffic that you saw in the video, it wasn't there. So I don't know. Hopefully, number one, I hope I don't come down here tomorrow. I hope I do something else besides this. And number two, I hope I never ever come down here at 5 o'clock again, because that probably is something must have let out a work or something, and that's why the traffic was as bad as it was at that particular moment. But I couldn't even set up the back in there. I sat out there on the road and then blocked all the traffic up till I could get an opening to set myself up the back in. And I didn't even set up right, actually. I do a different kind of setup than what I did that particular moment. I was a lot closer to the curb on my right side than I would have liked, but we pulled it off. But it wasn't the setup that I usually do to back in there. But yeah, it was a mess. People blowing their horns and God knows what they were saying. And so, anyway, we're rolling. I'll talk to you up north. All right, so we're parked, we're done, all the paperwork is complete. All we gotta do is walk around and do a quick post trip in the truck, and everything should be all right. But fueled up, deffed up, and yeah, that doesn't sound right. Fueled up, DEF'd up, that doesn't sound right either. We put DEF in the truck and we put fuel in the truck. So my night shift partner has full tanks to run on, so she doesn't have to worry about fuel in mid shift or anything like that. So anyway, we're done. We're gonna head home and try to relax. That last delivery frazzled me a little bit. I don't usually get frazzled. I've been there, done that, seen a whole bunch of stuff out there on the road over my 30 years of driving, but that one frazzled me today. So but anyway, we're gonna go home, relax, eat dinner, and we'll try to talk to you in the next one, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure yet.